Hey everyone, it's Lindsay from My Crafty Plans, and today we are taking a look at my 2022 functional planner. I am so excited to finally have this in my possession. I have been just waiting to reveal what I got for 2022 with all of you. I am just so excited. So I ended up ordering an Agendio Planner. It is the most customizable planner that you can possibly imagine. I first heard about this on the Planner Girl Chatter podcast, and as soon as the host was describing it, I was like, this is the thing that I have been waiting for all of my planner life. So I spent hours and hours on the website customizing this to exactly what I wanted, and I am so happy. I can't wait. It just got here today, so I could not wait to just get this open and to share it with all of you. It did not come in like really pretty or fancy wrapper. It was wrapped in plastic and bubble wrap and just in a plain brown box. So not any of like your sort of luxury fancy planner boxes, but very well protected inside the packaging. It does have a silver coil. It is a very thick and sturdy coil, although it is a little bit smaller than I was expecting, and I did pay $1 premium to have the coil size upgraded, so it's hard for me to believe what a smaller coil would look like on here. So this is going to get a little bit thick with stickers, but I don't plan on doing like full stickering spreads every week in here. I plan to use this the way I have been using my inserts. So yeah, and they have a bunch of different cover options to choose from, and I went with this sort of floral one. I am planning on putting this into a print impression folio, which I already have, and I will show you in a minute, but this is what the planner looks like. They have a few different sizes that you can order. I will show you their website in a screen share shortly, just so that I can show you some things over on their website that may be helpful if you decide you want to order them. But so this is a 7x9 planner, so that's sort of standard A5 wide size, same as a plum paper planner, same as an Erin Condren, etc. Yeah, so standard size planner over here. The cover is actually a little bit longer than the pages, so the cover fully extends past all of the tabs, which is interesting, but it still fits in my folio, so I am totally cool with it. But if you really tried to bend it, it's pretty sturdy. But yeah, that is just a thing to note. Hopefully you can kind of see there. So like the tabs end like right here, and there's still like a couple millimeters of a planner cover left. The way that the cover works is it's got like that clear plastic sheet on top, and then this is printed on like a pretty thick glossy cardstock, and that is how the covers work for these. If they do have book bound planners as well, and if you get a book bound one, you can get like that sort of faux leather, vegan leather type cover. So when you open it, it's just got like this front cover page that has like their little logo, and it also has the model numbers that I got, which I then further customized. Like I said, they have a ton of starter layouts, and then you can just do so much. So there are the model numbers that I went ahead and ordered. I will try and put that in the description below in case you're curious, and then just a little line to write your name in, which I never do. So then at the beginning of the planner, you also have a month, like a sort of year at a glance for 2022 and 2023. This planner just has 2022 in it, and there are like some weird kind of words printed at the bottom. I don't know. I'm probably going to white all of that out. It's not on any of the planner pages. It's just on, like, it's on the back cover too, which I can't white out. But yeah, there's just like a couple of weird little model label number things, I think, that helps them keep it all bounded. Because like I said, these are super customizable. But here I will probably just white them out. I honestly never really look at these pages anyways, but this one is printed on the flip side of the January tabs, so I will be keeping those. Now the tabs are on the same exact paper as is in the rest of the planner, and these just run straight front to back, so I will definitely be keeping those pages in. And here is what my month looks like. So I am starting in January. I have a Monday start calendar. You can customize what day that you start the month on, and I don't just mean choose between Monday and Sunday. You could literally start the week on a Friday and start the month on a Friday if you wanted. So it's really, really customizable. I just went ahead and deleted out a bunch of different things. Another feature is you can choose which holidays you want, which holidays you don't want, and you can also put in like custom events in here. So I do have like some family birthdays listed out in the monthly, and I also have like all of the Jewish holidays included and the US holidays and just a bunch of different stuff in here that I chose, just printed on there, and because I wasn't sure whether I would want them or not. And then it is also just printed very, very small. So like there is New Year's Day. So you can just go ahead and do this stickering however you want to do. So it's just a really basic monthly calendar. I really like it. They have different fonts you can choose. You can have the sidebar lined. You can have it columned. I tried a hand at making my key the way I have been printing it out, but the font was so small that I didn't really like the way that looked. So I decided to just keep it blank. Plus, if I end up changing my key at any point in the month, I wouldn't want to have to white that out. So it was like kind of a double-edged sword. So I just have like this little section at the top with a little line and then the whole sidebar thing going down. So after, the way that I have this set up is I have a month on 2 pages here, just sort of your classic monthly calendar view. And then I have my line a day memory keeper and my dashboard already printed into this planner. So let me go ahead and zoom in to show you this, which is again, like such a cool thing. They have a million different setups that you can do, so many different things to customize. So here is a line a day. It's just got the days running down the bottom. It's got a little section. So it's literally exactly how I set up my line of day now. And then for my dashboard, I tried to keep this general since it was going to be printing for the whole year. I can always change it if I wanted to, but I thought it was really cool to have this pre-set up. So it just says dashboard up at the top. And then I have a to-do section over here. It's lined. I don't have any checkboxes in it. I figure I'm going to want to use different markers and stuff to get that going. Then I have a section for work over here, a section that's to schedule, which is where I list out like appointments that I need to do, a notes section or a flex section, which I can use for whatever, a next month section, and then a section for my video list, which is always what I put in my dashboard and probably what I use my dashboard for the most is content planning. So that is that. And then afterwards, it goes right into my weekly setup. So these are 1.5 inch columns. They have different layouts that you can choose from. So, and it lists the width of all of the columns for the different layouts. So they have ones that are like 2-inch width, 1.5, and 1.2, just depending on which layout you choose. And then you can further customize from there. So I basically set this up the way that I have been designing my inserts now. So the dates run at the top and you have a little blank section. So that is gonna be my like sort of priorities and schedule section, you know, where I put like due dates and appointments and things like that. And then I have my to-do list section here. This was a little bit tricky, so I'm gonna show you this on the website. Basically, a lot of their layouts look like they're hourly initially, but you can remove the hourly setting once you get into the customization, and it just leaves it with this little dashed line section there. So it's super, super flexible. And then here at the bottom, I have a little section for work and meals. So that's the only real difference between this, is that before in my inserts, my work section was up at the top right under the appointments below, above my to-do list, and now my to-do list is first. And that was just because this was kind of like the closest I could get it. Like I said, there's a lot of different combinations you can get, but it's not like you're drawing boxes on the page with a silhouette. So it's essentially the same thing. It's just like, you know, slightly different. I decided, even though I could have done one, obviously, with this size planner, I could have done one where the Saturday and Sunday still ran the full width. And I would have just had one sidebar, but I decided to go with a double width sidebar and split Saturday and Sunday. I just don't use my functional planner as much on Saturday and Sunday, and I really like having that split day so that I'm not feeling like I have to fill a whole column's worth of stuff when I barely look at my planner on the weekend. I'm much more of a weekday person. On the weekend, we're, you know, busy with the kids, doing activities, all that kind of stuff. So I don't usually list out to-dos or anything like that on the weekend. So I thought that this would be a better way to have that. And then I have the double wide sidebar space, which I really like. So it's really similar to what I'm using this month in my inserts. Of course, my inserts this month have a sidebar running along each side, but I have the double space here. And I thought that that would be really fun. So if I want to do stickers, I can do stickers and split this into 2 columns, but I also have like more space to write things out. You could do to-dos, notes, and I did set this up to say this week, notes, and next week, and then the top is blank. So I really love the way that this looks. And this is it's a fully dated planner, so it runs, you know, the weeks run through through the end of the month. And then at the end of the month, I have 2 blank pages. I have a dot grid page here, which I'm planning to use as my notes. Now, currently in my inserts, this is in the beginning of the month, and I could have done that in here, but I decided I wanted to move it to the end of the month. And the other added benefit for that is then this essentially, which is a blank page, kind of turns into a February cover page if I choose to use it that way. Otherwise, I can just leave it blank. So I had dot grid printed on the back of the last weekly spread of each month, and then the front side of every tab is just a blank sheet. It does have the line up at the top, but I thought that that could be kind of fun to decorate if I'm feeling fancy, or I could just leave it blank or just write the name of the month there. And then you go back into the calendar, and then through all of the same sort of things each month you have, again, line a day and dashboard, and then back into the week. So I am just so happy with how this looks. I have not tested the paper yet, but it is 32-pound paper, so 120 GSM, 32-pound weight paper. So that is like the same paper weight as in like an Erin Condren. It feels like nice paper. It does feel very smooth. So I'm gonna do a pen test in just a minute here. But I'm just really excited to try this out, to get going with. It does have really nice tabs. The tabs are laminated and they are like attached to the pages, and they just have like a nice plain font. It's printed in gray. I got the whole planner printed in like grayscale, so there's no color in here. I just really, really like how this looks. The circles around the numbers are pretty light so that you could like literally cover them with a dot if you wanted. You could cover them with color, or you could cover them with sticker, but you could also leave them and they're not going to clash with any spreads that you do. So at the end of the planner, after, you know, my last month, which is December, and this ran all of the way to the end, it actually printed a January 2023 calendar, and then like the first week of the next year. I'm probably going to I might just rip some of that out or glue it together so to make a little space if it starts to stick or do big, but otherwise I'm just gonna leave it for now. But it's basically so that it runs literally to the 31st of December. So you have like the first day of January, and it also included the month of January, which that's like a little bit of a weird quirk, but I'm not gonna complain. It's extra pages, and you can just take them out if you want. And then at the back here, I did have like a couple of note pages added on as well, and I do have a tab here that says notes. So I have some lined pages and then some dot grid pages running at the back. I just thought that that would be useful to have, and then it does have one line page at the end. So yeah, I thought that that would be just useful to have. One, to do a pen test. You do not have to add those in. It was like $2 per 2 pages or something, or $2 per 4 pages, something like that. I don't remember. You'll see on the website. This was a pricey planner. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you about that. The whole thing, all in with shipping, was around $80, and they don't really have sales or anything like that. So it is definitely an investment planner. That being said, the paper does feel really nice. The cover feels really nice, and it has exactly what you want in a layout, and it also has like my kids' birthdays pre-printed in it at different things. And you can get the printing parts that you can add into this do not cost any extra. So you can literally put activities on every single day of the week. There are things that you can add, which I didn't do because I don't like that, but you can put in tasks that you do every week. You can put in to-dos every single day, and you can put them directly in the planner, like have them printed in there. So I will show you that on the website. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I just like mine to be a little bit more blank, because part of what I think makes paper planning so helpful is like actually writing things down, and that already gives you like a leg up on remembering things versus just looking at it electronically, if that makes sense. So I like to write in the tasks, even if they're every single, you know, even if they're the same every week. But like, you could put your trash day in here, which I didn't do, but I maybe I will next year. You can put your trash day in here. You can put, you know, your meal prep days in here. You can really customize this as much as you want. They have a million different layouts. They do have some horizontal layouts as well, which I did not even mess with. But yeah, it's just a really super customizable planner. And I'm gonna do a quick pen test, and then we will see what this paper is like. So in order to do the pen test, I have some dot markers. I have some of my generic ones, and I just grabbed a zig just in case it makes a difference. I also have some mild liners, a dark color and a light color. I've got 2 fine liners in a 03 and a 05 size. I've got my Pentel gel pen, which I've been using lately, and I also have a Tombow. And then I also have some stickers. I have 2 different kinds of matte stickers, like the Miss and Meow Thinner Premium Matte and the Crest Press Thicker Premium Matte, and then some Scribble Prints Cold Glossy. I'm gonna put the stickers down and pull them back up to see how they lift as well. So let's go ahead and pen test. Okay, so that is my pen test. Now, as for what I think of the paper while I'm writing, before I flip this over to take a look at the other side, I did not love the way the brush pens moved over the paper. Other than that, it felt super well. It's a nice smooth paper. It has maybe a little bit more tooth to it than a plum paper, but not as much as an Erin Condren, if that makes sense. It's, you know, it's so hard to find the words to describe what a paper feels like, but it is very smooth. It might have a little bit of coating on it, just based on what like the dot markers look like as they went down, but it's not like as coated as the plum paper is, if that makes sense. So it is really nice to write on. I especially liked the way writing with my gel pen felt, which is the pen that I've been using most of my planners lately. I've moved away from fine liners a little bit. Highlighters and everything went down smooth, etc. I was just struggling a little with the brush pen there. I think I'm used to a little bit more toothy of a paper when I brush letter. So now is the real moment of truth, and I am nervous, I have to say, because I've already committed to this planner. But let's go ahead and flip over, and oh my gosh, it looks amazing on the other side. So, okay. The thing about this is I am under the studio lights right now, and that makes ghosting look a lot worse. So I am gonna look at this off camera as well, but nothing bled through, not the dot markers. Even that one that juiced super, super hard did not bleed through. There is like a little bit of shadowing from the dots and also from the Tombow and the mild liners, like where I double lined them. But if I take this off camera, yeah, if I take it off camera, it's pretty much the same thing. You can sort of see a little bit of the shadowing through. Again, nothing bled through, and I feel pretty good about the way that this looks. I think it looks pretty good. It's tough. The dot markers are tough for me because I have a pretty low ghosting tolerance, but that being said, I'm really, really happy with this paper, which I was super, super nervous about considering how much this planner was, but I will definitely be able to use my dot pens in here and not feel like I have to white out the other side of the planner paper, which is all I wanted in order to be able to use those dot pens. So yeah, I am pretty happy with how that looks. You know, you can kind of see, I don't know if you can, I feel like you can never see it that well on camera, but you'll have to take my word for it then that this paper is actually really, really nice. I like the way this feels a lot better than the plum paper but I would, if I was like designing my perfect paper, I like a little bit more of a tooth to the paper. This is maybe just a hair smoother than I would like, but that being said, it's really nice paper and I'm very happy with it. So let's stick some stickers down and then pull them back up, which is my favorite thing to do. Okay, so this is a Scribble Prints Go sticker, and I did not stick any of these to my body first, which again, if you don't know, if you have a planner where the paper, or are using inserts where the paper is a little bit tricky with stickers, just put it on your forearm. Is that your forearm? On the underside of your arm, whatever that's called, and stick it to that. We could do that right now. And you just do it like that and then pull it up and put it down, and it's just a lot easier to like unstick back up afterwards, if that makes sense. I find that even with plum paper planner, which a lot of people complain about the stickering on that, if you stick it to your arm first, you're gonna be just fine. Okay, so I put down my stickers and I am actually just gonna try and pull them back up without any undo. I might have to sit down for this because it's a really bad angle while I'm standing up. Okay. Okay, so that did a little bit of damage. First of all, I totally destroyed that Scribble Prints Go sticker. So I did just go ahead and do a second one where I stuck it to my arm first, and that one worked much better. That being said, all of the stickers except for the ones that I put on my arms did like rip the planner paper just ever so slightly. And the Scribble Prints Co one, really, I had a hard time getting up. So it is not, in terms of stickering on this, I would put it more on par, like closer to the plum paper end of the spectrum than to the Erin Condren end of the spectrum, and like it does not sticker as nice as my Crest Press memory inserts. That being said, I will still be using stickers in here. I will probably just stick them to my arm before I put them in here, which honestly at this point is almost a reflex for me, and I do that pretty frequently. Let's just do one more here, again stuck to my arm, and then kind of just put that down, and it doesn't like hurt anything. Yeah. See, it's much easier to just take off if you do it like that. So that is just like a little trick. But in terms of ones that you didn't do that to, I'm just like peeling up all of these stickers and doing that. So that one I didn't stick down. I'm just like, I like to do this a couple of times because, you know, sometimes you hit a bad run. Yeah. So I think if you don't stick this to your arm and you're not using undo, you are going to rip the paper just a little bit. But if you stick it to your arm, you will be fine. So anyway, that is what the paper feels like for writing. It's really nice, and it does, like, it doesn't ghost or bleed too bad or anything. For stickering, it's medium. I'm still going to use stickers in here and all of that. So pretty nice overall, even though we ended on like a little slight sticker damage over there. But yeah, I am really excited to plan in here. I really love the customization. So I am going to flip this over to the sort of screen share, and I will show you what their website looks like.
Okay, so this is the Agendio homepage. I'm going to try and just do a very quick walkthrough. Obviously, there is a ton here that I can show you. They do have some videos that help out, and their customer service is actually pretty good as well. I got stuck at one point and did email them, and they got back to me super quickly. So you do have a My Account section up here where everything that you build will get saved so that you can go in and, you know, work on it on across more than one day, which is essential for something like this. I think I took like 3 or 4 days where I really thought about what I wanted, etc. So then when you click over on menu and under planners, they do have inserts and notebooks and other things as well. But if you click on planners, it will open up this page, and this just little highlights a bunch of the different things you can label and customize. That is one of the larger models, but basically you can start a new planner by selecting a configuration, and then you can come down here. They have a bunch of different presets, but a lot of the presets use the lower paperweights. So if you go over to create a custom configuration, you can build something from scratch. And the first thing that you can do is go ahead and change your paperweight. The different paperweights have different page maxes. So for a 32-pound paper, 120 GSM, which is the paper I showed you in my planner, and a spiral bound, your page max is 370 pages. So it will let you know if you're going over your max, and if you put too many pages in the planner, basically it's just going to knock you down to a lower paperweight. It's just, you're going to max out the spiral. So they do have daily formats, weekly formats, and then monthly pages. And then here is where you put in your monthly extra pages. So the ones that go with the spreads, not the ones at the end of the planner. So I did a weekly planner, obviously. So I have a weekly spread, and then I wanted my monthly pages mixed in, which is like the standard way a planner is, but you can also put them all at the beginning of the planner or all at the end of the planner there. And then here is where you add your extra pages, and here it tells you how to do it. So you can have extra pages after every weekly spread, after every monthly spread, or at the beginning of every month. And the bottom part here is going to show you what it's going to look like in each layout, and you can just switch over to the monthly view, which I found a little bit better to look at. So you can see that each month is going to run with your monthly spread, then 2 extra pages, and then all of your weeks here, and it's going to run depending on the calendar. So if there are 5 weeks in a month, there will be 5 weeks printed in between. It's a fully dated planner, so you don't have to worry about that part. It's just showing you like this, and then your extra pages at the end. You can also add in daily pages, etc. I'm not going to do that, and I'm pretty sure it would knock me over the page limit, but I didn't look at any of that because I'm not a daily planner. But you can do, you know, weekly spreads and daily spreads if that's your thing. Anyway, here is the configuration bottom. If you ever make a mistake and you need to move something, you can just exit out here, and then that will exit out from this part, and then you can add back in what you want to add in. So then they do also have 3 different size planners you can see here, but I did order a 7x9 planner, which is the standard size planner. So just cut out a little thing of the page loading there. This website is a little bit slow, but when you get into, after you click that select button, it brings you to this customization section where there are all of the modules. Now, I already have some things saved to my library because I made a bunch of different stuff, and you can see that all of the layouts I used are like right at the top. Like here is my actual planner from the spread that I showed you. But if you want to just see what all of the general models are, I can unselect that just to show you what more generally this looks like. They have a ton of different layers, a ton of different layouts you can choose from, and then there are customizations within each of these. You'll notice that a lot of these are hourly, but you can change them in the customizations to be not hourly. In general, sometimes you can change the size of the boxes on all of the layouts. You can always remove the check boxes. If you see check boxes, you can always remove the calendars, and you can always remove the hourlies if you need to on anything. There's also a lot of filters along the side, so you can filter by like whether something has a sidebar, whether the weekend is split or goes all the way across. A bunch of different things. I felt like the filters were a little bit funny, but it is kind of helpful. So if you just click on a model number here, and I believe this is the model that I can't even remember now. We can look at the one from mine. So if you do that, and then as well, you click over onto the monthly section, and you can see what your monthly one is. Again, this is mine. You'll see it's a different color, but because the color settings haven't updated, but this is the one that I selected as well. They have a different version of the same monthly calendar, which just has like a different style. And then they have some alternate monthly spreads that are more like the ones that I added in my extra pages, which are not from here. There's a different section to do that, but more similar to that. So anyway, if we just select this, and then we have our monthly and our weekly set, and we can go ahead and customize. You can always go back and change this. You can redo it. You can save things and then re-import them and make swaps and all of that good stuff. So we open up on an info pad and on an info tab here, and here's where you can make some general changes about the whole planner, including changing the start date so that you can pick whatever month you want to start it on. Does not have to be a January start, and also change the day of the week that the week begins on and the month begins on, and the mini calendar. So if you wanted to start all of your calendars on a Thursday, you could. So this is super, super customizable. You can change the shading. You can choose to show the phases of the moon or not. And you can also choose to show page numbers. You can pick uh, some language settings, and I'm assuming that that's what that's for, all that kind of stuff. So that is everything in there. And then the bulk of where you're going to make the changes to your planner are in these 3 tabs. So I'm going to do the fonts and the colors first, just because it's super fast. This will change the font for the entire planner. You just click on it, and I think Roboto is what I used if you're interested in the font that I used. And then for color, you can set the color for individual months and have like a color theme throughout the planner, or you can make one color for the entire planner. And I chose gray, and I just printed everything in Grayscale because I didn't want any color in my planner, because I want to be able to decorate and choose the washies that I want, etc. So then the bulk of the changes really happen in this layout thing. And you can do it for your weekly layout and your monthly layout. You can change it anytime, and it's going to knock you back to the other page. But as you can see, oh, actually, this is not my planner. So this is almost the planner that I got. This one has the Saturdays and Sundays running all the way to the full column length, and a single sidebar versus the double sidebar and the split weekend. So this is basically one that I made that I almost got, but I didn't get. But we can still customize this. So this was hourly before, so you can see I can change it back to be hourly. And then this is actually the way that this was originally in the planner, but I didn't want an hourly planner. So what I did was I clicked customize. If you do want an hourly planner, by the way, you can change the start time and the time intervals, but basically you can just erase out all of these labels here and not just do the first 2, and then that blanks them out. So you can change this, and if you just delete them all out, it blanks them all out, and then you end up with this space with just this little dotted line space with no hours in it. And again, down at the bottom here, you can run like one long running list, or split it into 2, and all of the different layout options you have different customizations you can do. So you really are going to just have to try out a few different layouts and click through them and kind of just make all of the changes you want. As well, same with the sidebar. Basically, these are divisible lists, so you can make them longer or shorter, and if you just do that, it's going to just do them. And then every time you make a list shorter, you just click down onto the next section, and then you can add another thing in. Another thing that you can do is, and you'll see some of these end up coming with checklists on them to start with. So they look like this and they're little task lists, but you can go into the customization details and you can take out the checklist. You can also take out the lines and make this like a little bit more blank. You can really just do whatever you want. You can change up the sizing. So if you know exactly how you want your sidebar, you can always, anytime it says label, obviously you can change the label. So I think I put like this week and next week in mine. So you can make this say kind of say and be anything you want. You can get as specific as you want or leave it as blank as you want. So there's all different kinds of changes you can make there. Up at the top, most of these, it's just choosing sort of like the date style and then the justification of the events, which we haven't gotten to yet, but that's basically like this will let you print in custom events and holidays and activities, and your events are going to go up here, and then down at the bottom, this is printing the tasks. So I didn't do any tasks, but you can put like if you have things that you want to check off every day and you don't want to have to write them in, you can add those in as activities, and they'll print down here at the bottom or depending on what format you have. In this one, they'll print down here at the bottom, and in different ones, it may be in a different place, and your events are going to print up here at the top. So I did do some events, but I didn't do any activities. But the activities, for example, you can just do, and then there's these little hints on every section. You can just do, here's one that I like pre-selected, and you can do trash day, and you could say it happens on every Monday. And then if you save that and you can print it, you can choose to print it just on the weeklies or on the weeklies and the monthlies. And then when that will get updated when you look at your layout. So in terms of events, I put in a bunch of family members' birthdays, and I put some of them to print on the monthly and the weekly and some on the weekly. And then as well, I switched some of the holidays because I just wanted them to print slightly differently. They had Hanukkah spelled with a CH instead of an H, and which is not incorrect. That's a correct spelling, but I prefer the H spelling. So I just went ahead and did them custom. And likewise for Passover, I didn't like the way that they had it in the pre-done holidays. So I just did those as custom events, and it makes it very easy to do it. And you can print everything on the week and the month, or on just the month or just the week. So I did that exactly how I wanted it. And then under holidays, they have a variety of national and religious holidays, not just for the US and not just for any one religion. There's literally tons of holidays. You can do them all like as a set, or you can do them individually. It's very inclusive. You can literally get any kind of holiday that you want, and then you can decide whether you want them printed on the monthly or the weekly or both. And I really like all of that. And so then next after that, you have your extra pages. This is where you format the extra pages, both that are the ones that you picked in the beginning, and where you can also add extra pages to the back of the planner. So to add extra pages to the back of the planner, they have a bunch of different types over here. So I'm just going to go to notes and grab some dot pages, and then they have a few different dot sizes as well. This is, like I said, there's a ton here. So if you click on this from the sidebar and then click, you can do 2 pages at the beginning of the planner, end of the planner. You can also change this. It has to be in even increments, but so you can add your pages, and then you just add it, and then it comes along over here and it will tell you how much it is. So it's 4 extra pages for $1, and then you have what that looks like down at the bottom, and you can keep adding more stuff in to the back. They have all different kinds of like budgeting and flex tables, habit trackers, all different kinds of things that you can click through and add. When you want to add in the ones around your monthly spread, you go ahead and click up on the particular page right here. So this is my first after the monthly spread, and my second one, and then the ones at the end of each month. So here you can choose what you want to do. So the ones that I did in order to make my line a day memory keeper, I did this future month one. So the only thing about this is they do all have 31 days, but I still thought this was really cool and just a perfect way to have my line a day memory keeper. And then the one that I did to make my dashboard was this divisible lists. So basically this looks like 2 lists running down the columns, but you can make each section exactly how large as you want it. You can put the labels on it. You can do check marks on it if you want to have the little check boxes set up all in advance. You can change the spacing if you want it bigger or larger. So this works the same way as the sort of weekly checklist, and you can add in labels. I don't know what I'm writing here, but it doesn't really matter. But anyway, so that is just how you add in your extra pages. This was the part where I actually got stuck before, but like I said, customer service was really helpful. And then you go on to sort of the extras here. They have tabs that you can add in or not. The default is to not have tabs, so you can add them in, and you can either do 14 tabs or 21 tabs. It's going to do the monthly tabs as a default. There's a couple different formats in terms of how you want them typed out, whether it's the full word or just the first 3 letters. I personally like the full word to be displayed, and then you can add in the 2 extra tabs, or if you have 21 tabs, you can add in a bunch of extra tabs. So they will print, and you can kind of drag them where you want them. So if you write in, I did a notes section at the top, and then you just drag it where you want it. I only have a little bit of extra paper in here, so that's exactly what it does, and it shows you over here how it's going to print. But if you had like a bunch of pages in the beginning, you could drag it to the beginning, etc. So then from there we go on, and you can click cover, and this part is pretty self-explanatory. A lot of the covers are customizable, but basically the ones that are like a single color you can kind of change, and you can also get like your name or whatever printed on it, similar to a lot of other shops. The way that works is the same, but I don't really like to have my name on the front of my planner. But basically they have a bunch of different stuff here, and I believe the cover that I chose was under the florals large category. I almost got this one, but I decided that this would match the planner cover that I have already. Anyway, then under accessories, this is where you do your coil upsize. So they have some bands. I did not do that. And you can also get some page markers. You can have detachable corners on the edge of your planner. You can add a pocket into the planner, which if you're not using a cover, I would recommend adding a pocket in. But because I was using the folio, I didn't feel like I needed that. But what I did get was a spiral upsize over here. So you can see, I did add that in. So that spiral that mine came with was the upsize spiral, which I can't even believe what the little spiral must look like. Anyway, that is pretty much it for this. Afterwards, you just go to review and check out.
Okay, just to finish up here, I hope you found that screen share useful. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. But so I do have my print pression binder notebook thing. I don't know what to call this. I forget what it's called, but it is an A5 wide size. Basically, it's a ring-bound planner without the rings in it, and Print Pression sells this. I actually just bought another one on Black Friday in a different color in case I want to swap, but I got this in this lovely pink color. I've already hauled this a while ago. I've had it for kind of a while, and what you just do is you slip that right in back there, and then you've got this cool planner cover. So I will be getting this set up all the way for next year, obviously, before it's 2022, but for now I am going to store this right in here like that. I just absolutely love how that looks. I'm so happy with how the planner turned out. I'm so happy with how it looks together and the way that it fits in there, and you have room to grow in this as you sticker. But anyway, so that is my 2022 functional planner. Stay tuned for Plan With Me's in here next year, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I'd love it if you'd subscribe and check me out on Instagram to keep up with everything going on in my planners. Bye.